35192. If you want to send a text, you can watch if you like at AlanCoxShow.com. Thank you to who's helping out today?
Is that up there?
That says 9-8 again. Nendry Carpendale. Thank you to Nendry Carpendale.
That's just me having a Friday brain fart.
Yeah, Bill Squire Friday Get Down, by the way, later on. That's how we
Fix that.
denote that the weekend is underway. A lot of times Mary isn't able to enjoy it live in the room. We've only had one live one here in the new studio so far. And so they're best, like so many things, when they're enjoyed fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Right there in person.
All right, there we go. That's fixed.
Well, the NFL season started last night. It was Bills-Rams. Rams, of course, are the reigning Super Bowl champions, and they got steamrolled by the Bills.
Yeah. Bills look real good.
And it's the last Thursday night football game that will not be on Amazon Prime. Starting next Thursday, they're all going to be on Amazon Prime for the next 11 years. Jeez. Since Amazon spent $13 billion on Thursday night football. Which feels weird because, not weird, but Monday night football has been around for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday night football feels like a relatively recent development, but that's probably been around for 10 years too, right?
Yeah, at least 10.
10 years, okay. But Monday night football goes back decades. Because they were like, why stop the party on Sundays? Let's have a game on... And so Thursday night football has been a thing for a while, but Amazon just wrote a massive, massive check so they could dip their toe into that, get some of that revenue over there in streaming. Anyway, I was interested in it because Ozzy was going to be doing the halftime show. And if that's why you watch the game, maybe you don't give a fat frog's ass about the Rams or the Bills. Maybe you're not in the Bills Mafia. Or whatever the Rams fans are. NBC showed 10 seconds of Ozzy's halftime thing. So if you're watching for that, and any of the fan footage you've seen, you can't, and I imagine it's probably pretty true to form, you can't tell what the hell's going on. Because when they're on the stage in the middle of that huge stadium, unless you're right in front of it, you can't hear anything. And so he's up there. He's got a new album out. Again, I'm not a huge fan of new Ozzy music. I'm not a purist by any means, but I like Zakk Wylde Ozzy. I don't know if he played on this album, but last couple of Ozzy albums, because he's getting older. And he's getting, I don't know if he's getting more introspective. I don't know. Last couple albums have been a lot of collaborations, a lot of piano, a lot of, he's doing stuff with Post Malone and Elton John, and that's fine. Do what you want to do. But I haven't dug on the last couple of Ozzy albums. But anyway, they get him. This is only, I think this might be the first live performance he's done in the United States in like 3 years. He and Tony Iommi did a thing in England a while back. But I think the halftime thing last night was him getting back into live performance in the States. He and Sharon hightailed it over to England because he was worried about getting shot. If you have Parkinson's, if you've been diagnosed with some degenerative disease, last thing you want to do is shuffle off your mortal coil because of some crossfire on your street. But anyway, I was interested to see what Ozzy was going to do last night, and NBC cut away from it. They introduced it in the middle of Ozzy, and then they're like, okay. They cut back to the halftime crew. So it was an afterthought. They're up in the booth, and they're like, oh, hey, by the way, there's Ozzy down there. And then they cut back to talking about what the Rams and Bills are going to do in the second half. Who cares? Somebody's going to throw it, and somebody's going to try to catch it. I mean, why have the guy out there if, whatever. So obviously, Ozzy fans, not pleased with NBC. But I've never understood why they don't air those. I know that there's a lot of advertising that goes on in halftime shows. I understand that. I don't know why they don't incorporate at least one song, because it's not like he's going out there and playing for 45 minutes, doing 2 songs. Work that into the halftime show. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him, you love him. He finally stopped dyeing his hair.
Only a little bit for
Ozzy
that
Osbourne.
ombre look.
I know, right? It's like he's letting it slowly go gray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the look
That's the look.
for him.
Yeah, I give him credit, boy. When that's the move, is you have to decide early on to dye your hair. Like Alice Cooper has always dyed his hair. I think maybe even all those old guys are kind of starting to stop, but they've done it for so long. I'm like, it's looked silly for a long time, but you're in rock and roll, so why stop now?
But it
when you're
doesn't
70.
matter.
No, but what I'm saying
You're
is
still Ozzy. You know what I mean?
I know,
Like,
but
you're
I'm just saying, like,
still-
but looks do matter, and there's a consistency there.
I don't think that they do. When you get to that point,
No, but you wouldn't keep dyeing your hair if you didn't think looks mattered. I mean, it's the consistency. Alice Cooper has dyed his hair jet black for 50 years. So even when he's 80 and he's got your eye makeup on and jet black hair, you go, oh, that's Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
Clearly he looks older, but he's been dyeing his hair for so long. But like Steven Tyler stopped. I think Alice Cooper probably stopped.
But Steven Tyler kind of did he let streaks of it go, so it was more of a gradual thing. I love the Brian May style where it's just a big
Fro.
white fro.
Yeah.
It looks like he's a judge in the 1800s.
Right.
there was a meme going around. Someone had photoshopped Steven Tyler into different scenes from Hocus Pocus, and he looks
Oh,
identical. Like, it's so,
It just works.
It's
Yeah.
so spot on when you see it. It's like nothing is out of place.
that's Steven Tyler in particular. I feel bad for when they get paparazzi photos of him because they're like, "Who's this old grandma coming out of Whole Foods?" Because he does have a very feminine.
Yeah.
Like his face has always had
Well,
kind
he's
of a
very
feminine
slight,
look. Yes.
you know?
And so when they get him walking out of the grocery store in like Bermuda shorts and his hair's pulled up,
But he's always wearing
in
like a kimono.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like.
right? Hey, your aunt was picking out some avocados
But
at the Calabasas Whole Foods.
yeah, he played Johnny Depp's dad in one of the Pirates of the Caribbean
Really?
movies.
No,
Yeah.
Keith Richards.
Keith
Oh, that was
Richards.
Keith Richards. They do look the same, huh?
Kind
Keith
of.
Richards his face is more jacked up, right?
I don't know.
He's
Steven
got, like-
Tyler.
Ah,
No,
Steven Tyler's
no.
weird
Keith
looking.
Richards' face is all
Well, he's an
picked
old man.
over.
Yeah,
and
he's in his 80s, I think.
from
Yeah, but
drugs.
Steven Tyler, it looks like he had work done, and then the work didn't keep working.
Steven Tyler's still kind of hot. Keith Richards does not look good. How old? What's the age difference there?
Probably 8 years, 7, 8 years, maybe 10.
Keith Richards is 78.
Yeah. Oh, so maybe 6 or 7 years?
Steven Tyler's 74.
Oh, wow.
It's only
okay.
a 4-year age difference
Yeah.
between them.
Yeah, a lot of people were pointing out, I bet Ozzy never thought he'd outlive the Queen of England,
Ha.
Ozzy Osbourne. Hello, who's this?
Alan,
Yes.
it's Woody. How you
Hey,
doing, brother?
Woody, I'm picking up my own phones today, so I can't see who's calling. I'm just putting them on hold. How are you?
I'm good, brother. Good, really good. Hello, Mary. Hello, Bill.
Hey,
Woody, Woody's a long time. He's an old rocker too. I mean, I don't mean old. I mean like Woody's a guy who was in
Yeah,
bands and did the rock and roll thing. I mean, Woody and I are around the same age. I think he's a couple years older than I am, but not by much.
Correct.
It's negligible. Do you color your hair? Do you do a blonde thing?
You know what's funny? I did for years and years, and I stopped, and now I'm just the gray ghost,
Yeah.
so to speak. You know, there's some highlights left, some stragglers left, but you know, I've been in the sun a lot, so I think the sun does a little work to it. And but you were talking about Ozzy Osbourne and Zach Wilde, and you know, I'm not a huge Ozzy fan, but you know, you look at Randy Rhoads. He was just this diminutive little tiny guy that could just slay on guitar.
Yeah.
And then in walks Zach Wilde, and I've seen him a few times, you know, on videos and stuff. But he's just a beast, right? He's just an intimidating look, he's like a hardcore rock dude, right?
Well, the thing with because Randy Rhoads was very young when he died. He was 25 when he died, and Zach Wilde, I think, was 19 when he joined with Ozzy. There was Jake E. Lee in between. Ultimate Sin, those mid 80s
that's
years.
right.
It was Jake E. Lee, but Zach
Yeah.
Wilde, but the first Zach Wilde album, he was like clean shaven. It was still kind of the end of the glam thing, so he kind of had poofed up hair. And now you see him, and he looks like he's in, you know, he's in Sons of Anarchy or something. He's got a much better look now, but.
Yeah, that's the look that I saw from him, and you know, I must have missed his clean cut look when he joined up with Oz, and I remember the Jake E. Lee years. But yeah, I mean, now he just looks exactly that. He looks like a assassin for the Sons of Anarchy, compared to little Randy Rhoads. I don't know if he was like 5'2" and just you know, his hair was bigger than his body was.
Yeah, something like that. But I mean, it was a different time, Woody. A different time.
Yeah, I loved it all, brother. I loved it all.
There you go. All right, thank you, Woody. There's Woody out there on the lake, out there in Willoughby. Yeah, so Ozzy does the halftime, though, and they cut away from that. And I guess there were a couple of, I was watching some video, there were a couple of animal rights activists, who stormed the field and carried like flares across, smoke flares. These two women who ran out there, interrupting the game. They're with an organization called Direct Action Everywhere, which sounds very serious. It always seems to me like if you're in an activist group, and I know that they are serious about what they're doing and they want other people to be serious about their cause as well, and I get it. But you got to have a little showbiz in there, and I know that's what running on the field is. But just from the jump, I always think this should be like activist groups should name themselves like improv groups. Right? Like Mixed Nuts, but with a Z. Just like from the jump, there's a little bit of a wink to it, and then you get people to pay attention to what you're doing because it shows you have a sense of humor. That's what turns people off, like whether it's eco-terrorists or whether it's animal rights activists or whatever, is that there's this sense that they don't have a sense of humor, or that's the public perception. And if you come out and go, hey, we are diametrically opposed to big agriculture, to factory farming, to puppy mills, and we're called Mixed Nuts with a Z. Or pick your own pun and get it out there.
It's got to be animal related.
Yeah, sure, even better.
And also, I don't think these people have that great of a sense of humor most of the time.
Well, they should spend some time with people who can turn that, guide them in that direction. Stop teaching classes on how to do stand-up comedy and teach classes on just how to integrate humor into other things, like animal activist groups, right? I mean, Paw Patrol is taken. My daughter gets all upset when I go, hey, Dog Detectives is on.
Cops.
Call them something else. Hey, Canine Cops is. She didn't really watch it anymore, but we were clicking around, or we were somewhere else and we're clicking around. I think it was we were up north at the house and all the kids they took a half a second from running around like maniacs to sit down and watch something. And I go, hey, Dog Detectives is on. Nobody thought that was funny because that's not the name of the show. So then I brought somebody in to teach these kids to have a sense of humor because I can't do it.
Good job.
Thank you. So anyway, these two women stormed the field with smoke flares. And they said that two of their people were charged with multiple felonies for rescuing piglets from a meat processing plant. They're trying to draw attention to two of their fellow activists who are looking at a decade in prison. For people who don't think that the judicial system is broken, you have people who might spend 10 years in prison for trying to rescue piglets and other people who do just heinous things to other people.
And get slapped on the wrist.
They get out in a couple of months because whatever. So I don't know if they covered, I don't know if this was part of the game either, if this was part of the telecast at least. You can drop us messages if you listen on the iHeartRadio app. There's that little talkback button there for you.
So I just went to New Orleans for the first time earlier this year, and I got to agree that if you're not drinking, there's not a ton you can do. There's like food you can try, though. The food there's supposed to be really good. I'm dietary limited, so I couldn't eat a lot of it. But there's that. But, you know, if you go outside of New Orleans in that area, there's a lot of stuff to see. But never walk around in New Orleans during the daytime because it's like, oh, now there's sunlight, and oh, there's some human feces right there.
How do you feel about
So
human
you'd rather
feces?
at night?
It's like walking through downtown Denver. Listen, if you're walking around at night, you won't see the feces.
Just smell it.
You'll just step in it.
Lick
That's
it.
why I tell people when you go to New Orleans, make sure you're walking everywhere barefoot
Obviously.
so you don't get poop on your shoes.
It's the only way to really experience the city.
Mm-hmm.
You take some of it home with you.
Alan, I don't drink. I love New Orleans. The food, the beignets, the music. Mary will have a great time.
I can't eat most of the food. Jambalaya is out.
A dude tricked me into shining my shoes and paying him $10 in New Orleans.
Yep.
How do you trick someone into shine? You have to get up on the thing if they have a seat, or Yo, man, let me try. There's guys, if they're
There's always people hustling.
But I appreciate the hustle. If you're really good, like, hey, if a guy convinces me
I do
to
need
shine,
my Vans shined.
yes, my sneakers, let me shine
the
them
poop off of those.
Let me shine those canvas shoes. Yeah. So, yes. Whatever. It's absolutely
I asked for
dirty.
a spit shine.
Spit.
Not a.
Ugh.
Right. Like a Timothy Chalamet. So, yeah. Anyway, that whole thing. New Orleans and blah, blah, blah. So congratulations to them. Steven Tyler is the most embarrassing man in rock. I think that might be
Why?
overstating the case a little bit. I mean, the guy gave you, he did a song called Dude Looks Like a Lady.
It's autobiographical.
I mean, you want to talk about people getting canceled retroactively. That band has not been canceled for Dude Looks Like a Lady.
I thought that was actually a pretty progressive song.
Yeah. Why not?
It was the main song in Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah. And if Robin Williams was still alive, they'd be trying to they'd be throwing Mrs. Doubtfire in his face.
Yeah, his gay brother and his brother-in-law do them all up because they're gay and they no makeup.
Wait, what? He has a gay brother-in-law?
And Mrs. Doubtfire.
I saw it one
it's
time.
his, what's that
He's
guy's
got a
name?
gay brother.
They did the
Harvey
Birdcage
Fierstein.
together.
Oh, Nathan Lane.
Isn't Nathan Lane his brother in that?
It's Harvey Fierstein. I
Do
believe.
they look the same?
Harvey Fierstein, that guy.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Hello, who's this?
This is Megan from Medina.
You're
Hi,
right,
Megan
though.
from Medina. Was there a Mr. Doubtfire?
No.
Oh. What's up, Megan?
You talking about the rescues and the names and such. Medina has an awesome new group called Medina Meow Fix. They do the trap, spay, neuter, sterilize the cat so we have less of them.
It's cat-centric. You've already lost me.
Okay.
What's the pun?
We'll have. Look, we're the MMFers. Medina Meow
You
Fix.
got to do a lot of work for that. I mean, MMFers. Medina, I assume you're a member.
Yeah.
Medina Meow Fix. No, that's... Did you work backwards from MFers?
I didn't come up with the name.
Oh.
I know we've already kind of gotten people looking at us weird because, well, it's Medina, and they're uptight.
Medina's
come on.
uptight? Aren't you
Yeah.
from Medina, Bill?
Yeah.
Is Medina uptight?
Of course.
Really?
It's
What do you mean, of course?
It's a pretty stuffy suburb. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
Is that why people like to
Yeah.
party out at high voltage karting?
That is. part's
Medina
great.
is uptight. I didn't know that. Okay. Anytime I've ever done an appearance in Medina, boy, everybody's been like down to clown.
But that's our fans. But like
Oh.
the school board people. I mean, it's your basic. It's a pretty well-to-do
Midwestern suburb,
Yeah.
is it? Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
well, the meow, okay. So it's a cat rescue.
Well, kind of.
Yeah.
Basically, since you don't know cat stuff. Yes, that's what it is.
Well, he
Yeah.
knows it. He just doesn't like it.
Yeah, I don't care about cats. But listen, I'm pro-animal, and so if you're helping animals, I'm a fan. So, but what I'd like you to do is find out who did come up with the name and publicly shame them for me. Okay, thank you.
What about
She's saving a cat as we speak.
you're trying to say stop factory farming of chickens, and you call yourself the Mother Cluckers?
There you go.
The Coxmen. They're out there doing good work. Sure. That's what I'm saying. I mean, and it doesn't have to be focused on one animal. You know, it could be, I don't know, just, direct action everywhere. You're not riling people up with that. You're trying to be serious about it because you are serious about it. But if you're going to grow your ranks, you're going to already get the people that are into your thing. You got to grow your ranks. All last week over here across the street, they had kids out there with clipboards trying to get people to sign for Greenpeace. And they're paying these dudes by the hour. So I guarantee you these guys never even heard of Greenpeace until they signed up and, they're getting paid to stand out there with a Greenpeace T-shirt on. Yo, my man. That kind of, I go, boys, I already donate. But I'm talking to them a little bit. It's very clear that they're not They're not hardcore, you know what I mean? It's just a paying gig.
Yes.
And that's fine. But everybody who's kind of walking around them, giving them a wide berth because they think these guys are going to come and give them the hard sell. Because they give them, every organization gives people talking points. Mm-hmm. You got to ask people if they like air or water more. Lame. Why would you do that? Because
trying to get them talking about the environment.
Talking, yes,
so what do you
course,
suggest? You walk up and be like, who caused more trauma, your mom or your dad?
Exactly.
Got to rope them in, huh?
Now let's talk about animals. Saving the whales.
You got to stop them.
Save the whales.
You got to stop them. You got to get their attention.
Yes. That's why I told these guys, I said, you need to take a direct approach. As you see someone coming towards you, you stand perpendicular to them, extend your leg so they trip. Oh. And then you go, oh, no. Then you help them up. You've already done something nice for them. Makes them in your debt. You go, sign up for Greenpeace, homie. He goes, but you tripped me. No, I didn't.
You fell down. You're probably pretty thirsty. Well, since we're talking about water, it's going away.
Why are you so uptight? Are you from Medina? I'm going to break. I will have those Bloodview Haunted House tickets for you if you want to get your Halloween on. They do it through Halloween. They've been doing it almost 40 years, as a matter of fact. So a couple of passes for you for that on the way back. That's out in Broadview Heights. If you want to text 35192, and we'll be back.
It's the Alan Cox Show.